Your smartphone, your electric car, the wind turbine powering your city, they all depend on something most people have never heard of. They're called rare earth elements. And despite the name, they're not really rare at all. What makes them rare is that they're incredibly difficult to extract, process, and refine. And right now, one country controls nearly 90% of the world's supply. This is the story of the elements that rule the modern world and the new global race to control them. Let's rewind. What exactly are rare earth elements? They're a group of 17 metallic elements found on the periodic table. Elements like neodymium, dysprosium, terbium, and praseodymium. Names you can barely pronounce, but properties that are absolutely irreplaceable. They have the strongest magnetic properties of any known materials. They can convert electrical energy to mechanical motion with incredible efficiency. And they can produce specific wavelengths of light that make your screens glow with perfect color. Without rare earths, there would be no smartphones, no electric vehicles, no wind turbines, no modern defense systems. Our entire modern civilization runs on these elements. So if they're not actually rare, why don't we see them everywhere? The answer lies in geology. Rare earths are scattered throughout the Earth's crust. But they're almost never concentrated enough to mine economically. When you do find a rich deposit, extracting them is an environmental nightmare. The ore must be crushed, chemically treated with acids, and separated through dozens of complex stages. Each ton of rare earth concentrate produces thousands of tons of toxic waste. This is why most countries abandoned rare earth mining decades ago. But China made a different calculation. In the 1990s, China decided to corner the global market. They built massive processing facilities, accepted the environmental costs, and undercut every competitor on price. By 2010, China controlled 95% of global rare earth production. And that's when the world realized it had a problem. In 2010, China restricted rare earth exports during a territorial dispute with Japan. Prices skyrocketed by 750% almost overnight. Industries worldwide suddenly realized they were completely dependent on a single supplier. The United States was particularly vulnerable. The Pentagon relies on rare earths for F-35 fighter jets, precision-guided missiles, and satellite systems. Silicon Valley needs them for every device, from iPhones to data centers. Detroit's electric vehicle revolution depends entirely on rare earth magnets. America's entire strategic and economic future was hostage to Chinese supply chains. So the hunt began for alternative sources. Enter Brazil, the sleeping giant of rare earths. Brazil holds the world's second largest reserves of rare earth elements. Over 22 million tons of rare earth oxides are buried in Brazilian soil. Most of it concentrated in the state of Goiás, at a site called Serra Verde. But Brazil faces the same challenge that stopped other countries: processing capacity. You can mine rare earth ore anywhere, but turning it into usable oxides requires technology that only a few countries possess. China didn't just control the mines. They controlled the knowledge of how to refine them at scale. This is where the United States saw its opportunity. In 2025, the Department of Defense invested $400 million into domestic rare earth production. MP Materials reopened California's Mountain Pass mine, the only active rare earth mine in America. They're now producing neodymium and praseodymium oxides, the magnets that power electric motors. But there's a catch. Mountain Pass still sends its ore to China for final processing. Because China still controls 92% of global rare earth refining capacity and 98% of rare earth magnet manufacturing. This is why America has also turned to international partnerships. Australia's Lynas Rare Earths operates one of the only non-Chinese processing facilities. They extract ore from Mount Weld in Western Australia and ship it to Malaysia for processing. In 2023, the U.S. Department of Defense partnered with Lynas to build a processing facility in Texas. The goal: create a complete rare earth supply chain outside of Chinese control. And then there's the wild card, Greenland. This icy island holds some of the world's largest untapped rare earth deposits. In January 2025, President Trump explicitly mentioned Greenland as strategically important for rare earths. But mining Greenland's rare earths faces staggering challenges. Extreme weather, non-existent infrastructure, environmental concerns, and a pristine ecosystem. Meanwhile, China isn't sitting still. In late 2024, China announced new export restrictions on rare earth processing technology. They're making it harder for other countries to even learn how to process rare earths independently. But there's another solution that doesn't require mining at all. Urban mining, recycling rare earths from electronic waste. Your old smartphone contains more rare earth concentration than most natural ore deposits. Every year, millions of tons of electronics are thrown away, taking their rare earths to landfills. Companies like Apple are now designing products to make rare earth recovery easier. Startups are developing new chemical processes that can extract rare earths from old hard drives and EV motors. If scaled up, urban mining could supply 20% of global rare earth demand by 2030. But recycling alone won't solve the problem. Demand is growing too fast. The electric vehicle revolution alone will require 4 times more rare earth magnets by 2030. Wind turbine installations will need 3 times more dysprosium and terbium. And data centers powering AI are consuming rare earths at unprecedented rates. So the race continues. China protecting its dominance, America building alternatives. Brazil, Australia, and others trying to claim their stake. The elements that power our future are finite, but the demand for them is not. The question isn't whether we need rare earths, it's who will control them, and what price we're willing to pay.